Welcome to On Cooldown, the weekly WoW news show right here on Marcelian&Online. In today's episode we have Method 1 World First and the wait for that 8.2.5 Wrathion, Arthas' sister, and oh my god, are they gonna attack the Barrens now? You'll be able to log into WoW with your phone because in 2019 WoW goes cross-platform on Android and iOS. Oh, and worgen and goblin models rework paired up with the B mount for Alliance. Yep, time to pay those faction changes, boys and girls, because Alliance is buzzing! It's a joke because... Hello, fellow humans. I hope you had an amazing and productive and meaningful week where you grew as a person and attained new goals, and yeah, maybe punch a homeless guy on a Monday morning. Marcelian&Online does not support violence against the fellow man, animal, or living being. Unless it's the Xbox that ruined your relationship, that's the only option left, if you ask me. Let's get on with the news before YouTube hammers down our dreams. Starting off with the juicy bits, we finally have the first batch of datamined information about 8.2.5. The PTR client just updated recently but is yet to have the servers online. We do know a fair bit about what's going to happen. First, the B mount, which we thought we would have in 8.2, will be in 8.2.5. Still not a lot of information about it, more than we already know at least is out now. We know it's going to be an Alliance only mount. That involves you going through a quest line in Stormsong Valley where the bee farms are. We have a few bee related items that might function in the same way as the Nazjatar Murloc Traders mount, which could mean that it might be a combination of questline and a trading game, but I'm leaning more on the former to be honest. The other change we finally have that was announced at BlizzCon last year, and these are the new worgen and goblin models. The fuck, even goblins have six packs now! Following the chronological releases of the races, they were up next for a makeover, which means pandas are due for an upgrade in 2 or more expansions, so look forward to that. A few technical changes were found out as well. For one thing, we will be able to log in with our phone, which is an account system similar to major companies such as Microsoft that uses this for their Office and Xbox users. Probably something inevitable for Blizzard to adapt as well. The convenient aspect is there. We all have phones, which shouldn't even be called phones anymore because calling people is probably the last thing we do with them most of the time. On the subject of logging in, Blizzard no longer manufactures the physical Battle.net authenticators, meaning they are collectibles now, and in 100 years people will look at them and say, these are from the BM age, before mobile. We knew for some time that this year's 15th anniversary for WoW, we will have some awesome new goodies, one of which is the craziest, coolest, sexiest dragon mount ever, for which I would gladly sell my soul, and that is the Obsidian Destroyer. To get this mount, we will need to participate in a Chromie event where we will fight old bosses from TBC, Wrath, and Kata. And by God will I ever do that the second it becomes available. Now there's another reason why I'm mentioning this. The 15th WoW anniversary will more than likely coincide with the release of 8.2.5. The day we have received for this is October the 8th, meaning the patch will go live no later than that. Coincidentally, October the 8th is also reset day, so at the very most, release of the patch will be the anniversary of WoW as well. It could come earlier as well, but it's safe to assume that by October we will have all these goodies. And by goodies, I don't just mean mounts. We have a new Wrathion model, and by God does he look cool. It looks like an anime time skip where the main character got stronger and cooler, with the main exception that the action doesn't happen at a high school level. Goddamn Japanese. We know that the Black Talon agents have been lurking about and watching us collect essences, so Wrathion is watching the news. We also know he wants to revive the Black Dragonflight, and now we have Ebonhorn, another son of Deathwing that portrays the Black Dragonflight in a positive manner. There are all sorts of speculations about the lore and the story, but a few things you should remember are: the Black Dragons were always associated with the Earth, and the Earth mainly was thought to be the prison of the old gods. Deathwing grew mad because of N'Zoth's whispers, and his title is the Earth Warden. Cool stuff coming in the next patch. Not only Wrathion has a cool WoW model, but Calia Menethil has a new one as well. If you don't know who she is and haven't read the Before the Storm novel, then spoiler alert. We know Calia is Arthas' long-lost sister because canon, and that she died in the book only to be reawakened as a Lightforged Forsaken? She played a seemingly positive part in the Forsaken story where the undead wanted to be reunited with their human families. Speculations are running in the community where Calia could become the leader of the Lightforged Forsaken that will be an alliance-favored undead race, or at least neutral. Is it true? Will there be more? I'm not sure, but if there's one thing you can bet your sweet little tushy that there will be more of, is our streams. Go on over to twitch.tv/MarcelianOnline and follow us. We like to stream and engage in theory crafting with viewers about different WoW topics, so come on by and say hi to the king of smooth segues. Valeera is also playing a part in the new patch, and it will tie in with a few other things that happened in 8.2 and will happen as well in 8.2.5. Again, spoiler alert if you haven't read the written lore and short stories yet. Valeera is Anduin's personal spy/assassin and was responsible for Anduin's communication with Bane Bloodhoof. Bane warned Anduin about Sylvanas' plans, hoping to avoid tragedies, and the two grew closer enough for Anduin to send Jaina to save Bane. How much role Valeera played in that part? I don't know, but it's safe to assume that she is tying Anduin to the dealings of the Horde, at least part of them. The new thing I believe she will be connected to in 8.2.5 is the new Warfront. Yup, we are getting the Barrens Warfront, which was in the database for a long time now. We could have also suspected this, seeing as Bane survived, and Sylvanas, for all intents and purposes, is not happy with the outcome. Will the Horde be sent to assault Thunderbluff? Will the Alliance defend it? I really fucking hope not, because at this point, the Horde seems to be the little bitch of Azeroth, with so many of our leaders becoming bosses for us to kill. Another interesting piece of information is that the Durotar map for Siege of Orgrimmar has been added to the database under the file name Durotar Warfront. Will we have two Warfronts? Or maybe a really big connected one? If you haven't played the Heroic Warfront yet, it's actually fun. The downside is that we have the normal one to compare it to. If the Heroic Warfront would have been the default difficulty, or at least be accessible since day one, I believe Blizzard would have gotten less flack for it. It's nothing revolutionary, just that things matter now, which is a major upgrade. If you collect resources fast or slow, it matters. If you leave your base undefended, it matters. If you have a poor group of players, it matters. And it really sounds stupid that we should be happy for this kind of content, doesn't it? Wouldn't you think that things that matter should be the default for content design? The Warfront is still not something I would repeatedly do, but I wouldn't mind doing it once per month or something like that, just for a quick change of pace. I hope they take everything right from what we have now in Warfronts and bake it into the new one we will have in a few months. Another new model we will be getting is the Zekhan model, fully armored, up and ready for some noise. First, can we please get armor like that in game as well? Are 15 years enough time to pass where we can expect proper Horde-like armor? By God, is this beautiful. And of course, the new model signifies a new story piece and quest related to the character. What could be Blizzard's plan for Zekhan? War Chief? Probably not. The troll leader / representative? I hope not, because honestly, Rokon has been in all the major chapters setting on Zuldazar and starting our BFA adventures. He acted as liaison between the Horde and the Zandalari and is probably the most noteworthy Darkspear aside from Zappy Boi. I didn't really know who Rokon was until this expansion, and the fact that he has been active and not sitting in the garrison for 2 years says a lot about our leader, know what I'm saying? Method took world first late last week, and boy was it ever a fun race to watch. We want to personally congratulate them for the achievement. If you didn't catch the world race, they basically two-man healed a Jara with 2 discipline priests, the gods of healers I suppose. It's hard enough healing a tank as a discipline priest, not to mention the whole raid as only 2. With the added fact that discipline priests cannot properly heal without targets to damage, and also we have intermissions and downtime in the fight with Azshara. They were of course assisted by the Boomkins, the space chickens of Method rolled with resto affinity, which gave them wild growths and swift mends and rejuves. And do you mean to tell me that they had to stop doing damage so they can heal the raid? Is that even allowed? Haha lol, I guess the healers were noobs then, am I right? I was really impressed by a few things, and those are 2 mainly. The first being the fact that they went with a dangerous strategy with almost no options to back out of it. Going in with 2 healers and playing the fight as they did got them world first, but it was also a fight that at the beginning didn't let them progress through all the phases and reach lower percentages of Azshara faster than other guilds. Well done! The second and most admirable is their attitude. Sure, not everything can be sunshine and rainbows, but Method showed us they can handle frustration really well. Positive and jovial, focus when you need to, reliant and trusting on each other is a very admirable bond to have with 20 other people. I was inspired that a group of gamers could work so well together and make it possible to achieve what they did. In closing off, we have the WoW Classic stress test server announced. It was earlier postponed, but Blizzard released an official post on the forums placing the stress test on August the 8th, and more than that, the server is open to everybody with a subscription. Yep, no longer invitational based. It also seems they are more interested in testing the first few hours with as many people as possible, and the time frame they want to monitor is 11 AM to 1 PM PDT. The max level will be 15, so you can essentially go through the intro and the first zone of each starting point of the original races. They also released the minimum system requirements, which are a bit higher than the original 2004 ones, but this shouldn't be an issue in 2019, so see you in Nazra, folks! I'm glad you stuck around until the end, because we do other kinds of videos as well, like guides and add-ons. Yup. We've been receiving a lot of comments from you about our UI setup and how we do it and what we use, and now we have answered you in our 8.2 add-ons guide, so go check it out. Shout out to our patrons who continuously support our content. We love you guys so much. And if you want to join our Patreon team, there are details down in the description of the video. And also take a peek at our merch we bet you will adore. We spread our creative juices over t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, mugs, and you can get all of that by clicking our official Teespring link down below. Thanks for watching the video. Stay awesome.